Welcome to Best Bet Show. Week 2 is in the books, and it was another doozy. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Kiprios.
And my name is Jimmy the Bag. More perfection on Best Bet. Our third player to sweep the board, and we're only 2 weeks in, Kip.
It's unbelievable. And for the first time after 2 weeks, we've got 3 cappers in plus money. We gave everybody $1,000 each. On Friday, they need to make 5 bets and utilize at least 25% of their bankroll across those 5 bets. And after the end of 8 weeks, well, one person is going to win $4,000.
What a week from Dabby Cab. He picked 2 games to focus on, made 5 bets within those 2 games, all of which correlated, and they all cashed, climbing the leaderboard. What a week for Dabby Cab. And then Babano comes last, but he only loses $70. It was a really solid week by the whole squad, and he was unlucky to be negative money at the end of this week. He lost the Ticats first quarter, but easily cashed the first half, which is a tricky thing to pull off. And then he had some tough luck on the diamond. He could have actually swept the board this week. So 5th place Babano, $70 of losses, but he's still in this thing.
Let's take it to the leaderboard and see who's who in the zoo. All right, in 5th right now is Babano's $580. In 4th is Hunter, $739.20. 3rd with a massive week and a perfect week is Cabby with $1,126.15. Still in number 2 is Joe Madden, $1,166.57. And our best bettor, well, our top dog is still Noli with $1,252.73.
The top 3 leaders are within $125 of each other. And the one climbing the fastest we have for you right now. We have Dabby Cab and Babano joining the show.
All right, we have Dabby Cab, who had our best week, and we also have Babano, who had our worst week. We will take it to the top. 5-0 for the 3rd time this year. Somebody sweeps the board. Dabby Cab, what an incredible week by you. You circled 2 games last week, and you fired all 5 bets on them. Both weeks, you've also bet 50% of your stack. Looking ahead, are you going to continue this style of betting?
Man, you know what? I think so. One thing, I was a little cautious the first week that maybe I overbet, but one thing I've learned from some great cappers like Jimmy himself here is that you got to stay consistent with something. And so this is where I'm at. And so I'm going to stay consistent with it for better or worse. And that's how I do with my unit size when I actually bet, by myself, outside of the show. And it works for me there. So I don't see why I would try something different here.
I like the focusing on 2 games and having everything correlate. The issue is you're either going to do very good or very bad. It's going to be hard to kind of, have a middling week, but that's how you win a contest. You either do very good or very bad. Doing average is not going to help. So I like it. Babano, my man, you have been dealing with COVID for the last week and a half. It's great to see you have bounced back. How are you feeling, and how has it affected the capping the first 2 weeks?
It's good to be here. I mean, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Obviously, we've been battling health stuff, lack of voice, sore throat issues, you name it. I felt bad, horrible in some days, but we're starting to get better, and which is good. As far as the contest goes so far, yeah, it's been a mediocre start. We've had some tough defeats. We've had some 1-run losses in baseball. We've had some close calls with CFL, which has actually been very disappointing for me the first couple of weeks in terms of the best bet contest. But look, for me, this is always these contests. There's a reason why I don't enter many of them. And I did this show because Jimmy asked me, and I'm always happy to help him out anytime. I'm a high volume bettor. I'm not one of these guys that says, yeah, let's trim the card down to 3 plays and 5 plays. I don't think that way. I'm not wired that way. I have a 10-play card, and usually 12 plays on a certain day. And if I go 7 and 5, 8 and 4, I'm happy. I find it's oftentimes tricky for me personally to say, hey, this is my best 3 or my best 5. So, and I've got to try to work at it. There's no question about that. But just from my day-to-day betting style, it's not necessarily conducive to a contest where you're trimming things down to your top 3 or 5 plays. But hey, it is what it is. You still got to do the best you can, and we're going to hope for better in the weeks ahead.
That makes a ton of sense to me, especially having to change your style, being able to cap a bunch of games on a card. You bet 80% in the first week, 50% last week, so you are firing a lot of bullets, and you only lost $70 last week, and you're still in this game. But last week was a tough week. The first week was a tough week, and now we have a little thing called Betribution. So you're going to owe the best bettor of week 2 a little something something. So Dabby Cab, what have you got up your sleeve? Is there some Dabracadabra magic? What is going down, and what will we see young Babano have to do for us today?
So Ian, first off, I got to say this, man. I have the most respect for you as a capper and what you do, and you got to know that. And also with the punishment that I chose, it was also out of respect, man. When we were all together in San Antonio at the Pubapalooza, I got the honor of seeing you rap, and you were magnificent at it. Very good. I enjoyed it a lot. So when I saw that was a choice on your punishment sheet, I had to go for it, man. I'd love to hear you rap again. So can you spit us a little freestyle on here?
All right, let's see what we can come up with. COVID tried to kill me. My picks just might. I don't have no spite. We can do better. We can get this turned around. We're going to do it and get these things turned to the ground. We're going to raise it on up right to the rafters. We're going to get the picks turned around. We're going to get right to the top of the mountain on best bet time, because that's the way we do it. It's time to get prime.
There it is, Babano.
Yes, Babano. Yes, man.
Fearless, this man.
Bars.
Not
That's off the top of my head, too. Nothing prepared, nothing scripted.
No beat.
Authentic.
Bars.
Who needs a
Authentic
beat
bars.
when you've got the smooth vocal stylings of Babano giving women eargasms.
I don't even have full 100% vocal power yet still, so I'm shocked I pulled that off.
I don't know. I think it could be advantageous, man. That nice low baritone register, baritone Babano White over there.
That's
it sounds
right.
good, man. It sounds good.
We had fun with that nickname last Friday, yeah.
Yeah, Babanatone is what he was called.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Babanatone. That's his new vocal range. I love it. Well, let's go into sure shot time. And I know it's a little tricky with the All-Star Week here. We'll start with you, Dabby Cab. Sure shot for this week. Are you going to focus on the All-Star game? Are you looking at the action on Thursday? What is your sure shot for the fans of Best Bet?
Okay. So like you said, a little bit of a tough situation here simply because of the fact that we're in the All-Star break. If I was going to make a bet on the All-Star break today, which I am probably for a smaller size bet than usual, I'm going to take Alonso in the home run derby. I mean, I don't like the fact that he's such a heavy favorite, but I definitely think he's got the best chance of winning it. And that's the reason why he is the heavy favorite in it. Another thing that I'd say to pay attention for, we obviously don't have lines yet. So I can't give you an actual bet, but when we come back, the first couple days, I'd look for unders, just like at the beginning of the season. There's a reason why these hitters came out slow with the whole spring training thing and everything that happened. You saw the batting averages take a huge dip at the beginning of the season. That's because these hitters weren't comfortable. They weren't seeing the ball right. And even though it's just a few days, taking this break, you're going to see in the first, couple days, the hitters are going to have to get readjusted. It's just something that they have to do. So the pitchers, for the most part, should still be in form, and the hitters' eyes are going to have to readjust for maybe 4 or 5 at bats, something like that. So I'd look under early when we get back.
All right, Babano, same question to you. Do you have a sure shot that you're circling for the people at home and the good folks at Best Bet?
Yeah, I mean, I'll there's a couple in the CFL that I'm eyeing. Obviously, baseball's on hiatus. I'm not really doing much with the home run derby and the All-Star game. I'm taking a little break for baseball till Thursday when we get the regular season back underway. But I'll give you one in the CFL that I've got my eye on. I expect them to be, a short road favorite Thursday night, and that's the Montreal Alouettes. I think they'll bounce back from a tough loss against the Edmonton Elks last week, which really, if you watch that game, they shot themselves in the foot. Turnovers and penalties once again are really, really hurting the Montreal Alouettes in that game. And give Edmonton credit. Taylor Cornelius played a great second half, but Montreal did as much to lose that game, in my opinion, as Edmonton did to win it. But now they get a situation where they've got a full week really to get Danny Machocha now, who just took over as the head coach before last week. The coordinator changes, Calvillo on offense, Noel Thorpe on defense. Now you get a full week of practice to get ready for this game. And if you're Ottawa, it's definitely a tricky spot. You just lost an absolute heartbreaker. I was there Saturday against the Hamilton Ticats. The field goal falls just short on the final play of the game. And now you got to go back on a short week home to face this Montreal team, still finding ways to lose Ottawa. And from what I'm seeing, they're going to be in a near pick-em price here in this game against Montreal. Montreal probably laying a field goal or so. I think Montreal is a good side. I don't trust Caleb Evans. Nothing I saw against Hamilton Saturday tells me he's ready to be accurate throwing the football. He missed a lot of receivers. He did make some plays running it, but I thought his accuracy throwing the football leaves a lot to be desired. So I think we're going to roll with the short road favorite, Montreal, Thursday night in the CFL.
It adds another layer of excitement in that game because I think that the Alouettes, led by Danny Machocha, are going to fall apart. I dislike Danny Machocha with the passion. He does not deserve to be the head coach. We all knew what he was going to do when he became general manager. We all knew he was going to fire Kari, and I didn't think he was going to fire Baron Miles. I dislike him so much, and it paid me out with the Elks, who I didn't even like the Elks. I was fading Montreal, and I want to fade them again. And now if I do that, I'll be on the other side of you, which will give me more time to think it out. We're still waiting for the lines to come out. Yep. Can I ask you this quickly, Babano? I know we got to go, but do you think the books are getting killed because we're all winning in CFL? Do you think that's why they're being so pensive and cautious giving us these lines? Because usually they'd be out right away, but they're really worried. I couldn't find a line anywhere in any book that existed. Do you think that the books are getting hit?
Well, I think actually when you look at it, this is still better than anything we dealt with last year. There were days last year, day of the game, and I still couldn't find a line, on certain games. So if we got to wait till Tuesday, I'll live with it. But you're right. This season in particular, Jimmy, you're right. We've seen lines usually posted by now, early Monday afternoon. We haven't seen that yet. So there might be a little bit more hesitancy because of some liability that the books have suffered. Obviously in the first few weeks because of the CFL. And I will say this right now, it doesn't mean I'm going to be on this side, but if you like the BC Lions this week, you're going to want to bet that line as soon as it comes out. People are going to see what everybody I've talked to sees about this spot. It's BC off a bye, off a home loss to Winnipeg, Hamilton traveling on a short week, east to west, Saturday to a Thursday. Everybody's going to see that as a brutal spot for Hamilton. It's a plus bet on spot for BC. So if you like the Lions, you're just doing yourself a disservice if you don't bet that number right away, because it's only going to go up.
And that wasn't your sure shot because you don't want to make the sure shot a bet against your hometown Tabbies.
I wouldn't be on Hamilton this week. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, God. It's great to see you guys, man. So great to have both of you guys here with us. Congratulations, Cabby, on your 5-0 week. Keep it rolling. And those of us who've capped with Babano know that we will hear from him loud and clear very soon in this contest. So, Babano, I'm so happy that you got over COVID. Good luck this week. And I know you're going to have some giant weeks in this contest. So to both you guys, thank you for joining us. And week 3 of Best Bet awaits. What a couple of great guys. Dabby Cab coming off perfection. Babano dropping bars off the top of the dome. Doesn't get much better than this here at Best Bet, but it does because it's sure shot time for Kip and myself. Kip, you're coming off a big winner. Let's get a streak going. Kip, what do you got for us this week?
Let's take it to the All-Star game. That's all eyes. That's where it's going to be for baseball. And Jimmy, I think you said the American League has won 9 in a row. Something like that. Something unheard of. Well, guess what? Let's keep that streak going alive. Minus 105. I'm taking the American League to get it done. Jimmy the Bag, what do you have for the beautiful people at home? What's your sure shot?
I have a sure shot myself. Saturday, July 23rd in Regina, Saskatchewan. Those of you Americans watching maybe have never heard of the great city of Regina. Big football game against the Toronto Argonauts. They just lost on a neutral field last weekend with a late pick 6 by the Argos. I think the fact that the Argos took care of business on a neutral field will create a situation where the Rough Riders won't be too big of a favorite. I mean, if they could, I bet you they open it up as 3.5-point favorites and they get bet quickly. It's a dangerous place, Mosaic Stadium. The Rough Rider fans are crazy and the Argos are bad on the road. Back the Rough Riders, even with their depleted front seven, to take care of business at home. That's my sure shot, Kip.
Well, I like it. Listen, 2 weeks down. We've got 3 players in positive money. We got 6 weeks remaining for gaming today. My name is Kiprios.
My name is Jimmy the Bag. I can't wait to see who's going to be perfect this week. Season 3, Episode 2 in the books. Let's see what they have for us in week 3. Get that cash.